So the idea of this show is Jared opens it with the red shirts and Abyss being like, red shirts take out Raven. We'll talk about Raven stuff after this.
I actually like this little promo. I gotta admit, this is a good little... The crew's here together.
Yeah, and then he wants Abyss to take out Styles so that he has no challengers.
Yeah, and then so he can continue not doing anything.
So we see that a confrontation took place on the John Boy and Billy show.
Are you a big fan?
They're still in the air, apparently. I looked this up. They're still going, so good on them.
Has Jeff Jarrett ever been back? He was banned.
Yeah, so the Jimmy Hart's there. He's talking about all the Hulk Hogan stuff. He mentions how Hulk Hogan... He mentions how Hogan wrestled in front of 55,000 people in the Tokyo Dome and how great and impressive that was, and how everyone wants to know what's... Actually, no, he didn't even bring up Bash at the Beach. It was one of the hosts. It's like, Jimmy, what's the deal with the Bash at the Beach?
Jimmy, everyone wants to know.
The whole world is interested in this Bash at the Beach angle.
And I'm like punching my couch in anger at this.
Before Jeff Jarrett runs into the studio, he starts beating up the guy who asked the question, and then they do a bunch of interviews afterward being like, oh, Jeff Jarrett, we didn't know he was here. He's been on the show loads of times. We thought he was our friend.
It's like, we didn't know he was here. And like the first thing Jarrett says is like, I'm on in the next hour.
Yeah.
That was his justification for being there at the same time.
Yeah, he shows up early. He's very
Which
diligent.
I actually liked, because like, why else would he just be stalking around this radio broadcast?
I honestly prefer the idea he's just following Jimmy Hart around.
No, that is some real Stone Cold Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, it's just like, maybe he'll badmouth me on this interview, so I'm just going to stand outside.
It really comes down to like, Jeff Jarrett's at his best when he's just like doing his Stone Cold cosplay.
So then we go to the ring where Mike Tenay is standing with Jimmy Hart. Jimmy talks about the confrontation that took place on the John Boy and Billy show, which is a syndicated radio show that goes all over the US. As mentioned, they still have a show these days, which is on Sirius, I think. But
congrats.
Yeah,
nice.
Still on the radio. Well done. So yeah, Jimmy's like, oh, there could be potential lawsuits over this. We're going to have news about Hulk Hogan soon, maybe as early as next week.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Good news, definitely. Jimmy then announces that he has a legendary surprise showing up for Jeff Jarrett, that an icon of the business is here to take out Jeff tonight.
Is it Sting?
No, Sting's not here anymore until December.
Oh, it's time.
So Jeff comes out, demands to know who Jimmy has as his big surprise. Jimmy says, I'm not telling you. During this promo, Jimmy Hart says that there was a kid who had a poster, and it was a really great poster, and he holds the poster up, and he's like, I'm going to bring this poster to Hulk Hogan. So I have two questions for you, Liam.
Oh, he threw that out immediately after he went backstage.
I was going to ask, do you think Hulk Hogan actually got that poster, and do you think he still has the poster?
No, that went in the trash like the minute he went backstage.
No, Linda actually took it from him in the divorce.
Oh, there you go.
I'm bringing the poster with me, Hulk. My prized possession!
It was in a frame over his bed.
I love nothing more than this poster this child made me.
Yeah, he puts it in his poster room.
And then our main event of that show, AJ Styles faces Abyss in the beginnings of one of the rivalries that will define TNA for like 2 years.
Yeah, let's get to that cage match.
Must be mentioned, Abyss had his Abyss theme for the first time this month. I think he had it for the first time when he came out for the Don Harris match. So he's Abyss now. He's fully Abyss.
He had cool lights that was spinning like a black hole.
Yeah.
That was fun. The wettest he may have ever been at this point. Even I was like, listen, brother.
You want to cool off on the wetness.
Yeah. Fucking go stand under a lampshade for a bit.
There was a cool hype package beforehand with this Are You Ready theme song. It's like, Are you ready?
Boom, boom, boom.
Hyping up this AJ and Abyss match. Tenay says that AJ has never wrestled anybody like Abyss, even though he literally wrestled Lex Luger last week.
There's this guy called Samoa Joe.
Listen, has he wrestled Samoa Joe by... He's probably had wrestled Samoa Joe by October.
I think he has. Probably not even like a notable thing. Let's find out. I wrote Soma Joe.
Feels like that was probably a match that happened in PWG at that stage.
Holy shit. Garrett.
Yeah.
How many times would you like to say that Samoa Joe has had a singles match with AJ Styles?
I'm going to guess 85.
You would be wrong! As it is actually 91 times.
Because I assumed he obviously would have worked in a bunch in TNA and a bunch on TNA house shows.
TNA house shows and WWE house shows.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then they had that feud in WWE where they would have worked the house shows for probably like 4 months straight. So they probably had a ton of matches.
Garrett, the first ever Samoa Joe AJ Styles singles match. 2003.
Oh, what month?
November.
Oh, no. Was it before or after this?
The 29th.
Mike today is right. He hadn't wrestled Samoa Joe yet.
Wow.
Because this is the 19th.
He didn't have another singles match with Samoa Joe for 2 years.
Not until the TNA ones?
Not until PWG All-Star Weekend.
Ah.
and then Sacrifice 05.
So it's not until they wrestled in TNA that they truly became rivals, Liam.
Well, let's see if he wrestled him in a multi-man. Would you like to guess how many multi-mans they've been involved with?
Far too many.
194.
That's a lot of matches.
You must really get to know someone at that point. Okay, he has in fact wrestled Samoa Joe in a 4-way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a fun 4-way. It is Jay Briscoe defeating AJ Styles, Chris Sabin, and Samoa Joe.
Chris Sabin's in the match, so I like it.
Yes, and you're notoriously down on the other 3.
But Chris Sabin's there, so
That's a good match.
So maybe we'll forgive Mike today because Lex Luger, is he really on Abyss's level? But he hadn't wrestled Samoa Joe yet for another 10 days. So
Hey Garrett, I found another famous 3-way involving AJ Styles and Samoa Joe.
sure,
AJ Styles.
yeah.
Samoa Joe. Bryan Danielson.
Oh, that's no Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, clearly. Step down.
There's a 3-way on 2007 Impact where it's Styles, Sabin, and Joe, and that match actually rocks.
These guys must... I wonder if they got sick of wrestling each other, if they're just cool with it.
I imagine by the time they're in WWE, they're literally just play the hits coast. They probably don't even care.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the history of multi-mans and Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. And a year after the Unbreakable 3-way, Ring of Honor ran one. Mm-hmm. with Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Jimmy Yang.
Yeah, that's the addition that really takes it to the next level.
It's so funny. It's you could just do the match again at that point.
But no, you have Jimmy Yang there. It's a whole new dynamic.
Actually, TNA did that match again at Hardcore War.
Yeah, that match rules. That's the Forgotten Styles Daniels Joe match.
How many times have they done this 3-way?
5. They did Unbreakable. They did Hardcore. Hardcore War was a house show. It doesn't really count. And they did it Against All Odds. They did it Destination X, and they did it at Turning Point 09.
I thought that I only remembered the Turning Point and the original.
Because the Destination X one, they did this match in Ultimate X, Liam.
Really?
They did a Styles Daniels Joe Ultimate X, which we'll get to during the good period in TNA history.
There is 5, I think. No, 3. Okay, there's 3 that are listed here. Hardcore War. IPW All or Nothing. Ran Joe defeating AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels for the TNA X Division title.
Whoa. Well, he retained, but...
And then, yeah, they did. And because Daniels was just Daniels in the last one, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. All right, we got TNA Impact number 254 can wait.
So yeah, Styles and Abyss. It wasn't a truly great match because their Lockdown 2005 main event is a truly great match.
Yeah, that match is fantastic.
You see the chemistry between these two here. It's oh, they've got it. There is a great match in these two.
This also had a smoothness and a crispness that sets it apart from most TNA matches.
And they got time as well, which I think is a big problem with a lot of the matches on these shows these days. The majority of them go 6 to 8 minutes.
That's because they try and fit 12 matches on a show.
Yeah, when they're cramming so much on these shows that even Sting and Jarrett went 7, I think. Everything on these shows is quick and fast and in and out.
Because they treat it like TV.
Yeah, and nothing feels substantive, nothing feels memorable. So that when you do get Styles and Abyss, who I think went 15, they did get plenty of time. It's oh, it's an actual real match. It's a real main event.
Yeah, and there's some good stuff though.
So AJ wins with a quick roll through. He cannot even get a second, a single second. He got a big win over the Monster Abyss, which I think is Abyss's first loss in TNA. And immediately, actually no, I think he lost the cash in the first blood, so I guess it's his second. But he immediately gets beaten up by the red shirt security. Immediately after winning the match, the red shirts run out.
That's what they do. They're the coolest.
They attack him, then he makes a comeback, he fights them off, then he's running up the ramp, and then Jarrett comes out and beats him up from behind. So it's oh, for God's sake, this man can't catch a break.
This ramp is not your place.